left. The silence was terrifying. The young girl hid under the blanket, not daring to look at me directly, perhaps out of shame, or perhaps because she temporarily didn't know how to face the person she hated the most, but who had just saved her life, especially after knowing I was still alive. The girl's heavy heart suddenly felt relieved. Kid. I spit out the apple in my mouth and actively called out to Mu Tangchen. Yes, hearing my call. Mu Tangchen couldn't pretend not to hear, so she crawled out from under the blanket and obediently sat on the bed, lowering her head and looking at her fingers intertwined nervously. Am I about to be scolded? It's true. I brought it upon myself, who told me to almost kill Brother Mu. A scolding is deserved. Next time you're on the road, remember to watch where you're going. Understood? I instructed her. Mu Tangchen was slightly startled upon hearing that. Her small nose couldn't help but sniffle. A little sting. Tears welled up in her eyes. Yes, I will be careful. He didn't scold me, and he didn't mock me either. She had originally thought I would hate her. After all, she really was too much this time. Why are you suddenly so obedient? I am not quite used to it, I teased with a light laugh. I still prefer the little girl who constantly opposes me and scolds me as a pervert more. Mu Tangchen quickly said upon hearing that. Sorry. I was ignorant before, always judging a book by its cover, always thinking that wearing earrings and talking to thugs meant they were all bad guys. Hey, that's too much of a generalization, but you are actually a very good person. Whether it was saving someone from the bridge before or saving me now, I saw it all. I acknowledge what you've done. Mu Tangchen suddenly became speechless. She was just too proud, because her ego was too big, so she didn't want to deny her previous judgment. At the same time, she also didn't want to admit that the standards she had believed in for so many years were flawed. You fool. I couldn't help but laugh. Mu Tangchen raised her head in a daze. If you don't want to say it, you don't have to. No one is forcing you. Just know, I've always been your older brother, and that's enough. My tone was very gentle. The moment Mu Tangchen apologized to me, I had already accepted this slightly proud little sister. A gentle breeze swept through, carrying the young girl's pink hair, dancing in the pristine white hospital room. That night, under Liu Ruyan's arrangements, I was quickly moved to a VIP private room. The price was very expensive, but the Liu family was very rich, and Liu Ruyan herself was even richer. I leaned against the headboard, watching Liu Ruyan peeling an apple beside me. The corner of my mouth couldn't help but twitch. Second sister, just say what you need to say. Don't peel that apple anymore. Honestly, with this atmosphere and lighting, I suspect if I say anything wrong, Liu Ruyan might just stab me to death with that knife. Liu Ruyan's expression was calm. I don't like your 4 little sisters. Why? I was very confused. Ever since they came to your house, you keep getting hurt. What do you mean keep getting hurt? It's clearly only been this one time. Liu Ruyan heard this, and immediately raised the knife, pointing it directly at my face. I flinched in fright, hastily raising my remaining right arm. Don't be rash. Knives have no eyes. The previous bridge jump counts too. That counts? Obviously. Liu Ruyan was furious when this was brought up. She immediately stood up and pressed herself against me. The knife pressed directly against the young man's slender neck. Seeing that, I was so scared. I shriveled up. It's over. I'll probably die here tonight. Truly. If it weren't for Mu Yulu, would you have bothered to visit your old school that you haven't returned to in 4 years? Liu Ruyan challenged. I felt a bit guilty. Probably. Something like that. Stop spouting nonsense. Uninstall DingTalk. I absolutely wouldn't go back. I confessed completely honestly. Liu Ruyan heard my answer, and let out a soft snort. See? You said it yourself. Isn't this Mu Yula's fault then? But when I jumped down then, it was because I could protect myself. I am not brain damaged. To show off, would I sacrifice my own life for it? What about this time? Do you also have self-protection abilities? That's right. Otherwise, who do you think would dare to go head-to-head with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and still survive? I retorted. Liu Ruyan fell into deep thought upon hearing that. Indeed, with the physical strength of a carbon-based life form, it's impossible to withstand a direct impact from a fully loaded truck. And analyzing the wounds on my body, it was clear I had taken the full frontal attack combo from the opponent, plus the fact that this kid didn't know how to swim before. But yesterday, he could swim like a fish in turbulent waters, and even saved a suicidal young woman. Under a series of coincidences, in Liu Ruyan's heart, a startling conclusion suddenly emerged. Kid, you're not the legendary novel's male lead, who awakens a system after getting 4 adoptive sisters. Are you? The young woman's gaze at me was full of suspicion. Alarm bells rang in my heart. Holy crap! A cheat! I could never have imagined that Liu Ruyan would rely only on my recent actions to deduce such a shocking conclusion. Most importantly, This girl even guessed it spot on. Damn it. No answer? Did I guess correctly? Liu Ruyan gradually moved closer to me, wanting to see the hesitation in my eyes. Ding. Warning. Warning. System detected to be at risk of exposure. Host. If you do not act to quell the opponent's suspicion, the system will activate self-destruct mode. Countdown. 10, 9, 8. I thought. There's a self-destruct mode too. Why didn't you say anything when we linked? Answer me. Kid. Liu Ruyan continued to apply pressure. The system side was also acting up. Countdown. 5, 4, 3. I couldn't help but swallow. Cold sweat poured down. This is a high-stakes situation. Without time to think, I looked at Liu Ruyan in front of me and immediately made a reflexive response. I directly extended my right arm and pulled Liu Ruyan into my embrace. Before the young woman could react, I spoke first. My voice was filled with deep affection. I am sorry, Ruyan. I thought these tricks to deceive girls. For me, there really shouldn't be secrets between us. This matter, I was wrong. I apologize to you. My tone was unprecedentedly serious and sincere. Liu Ruyan was completely stunned after hearing that, temporarily forgetting to struggle. I thought to myself, no way, bro. Going all out like this? I am truly sorry. What good is just apologizing? After all, apologies don't work. But showing my sincerity, to you and me, is extremely useful and important, and this must be what you want to hear the most. My complete sincerity. Oh. So cheesy. I know it's cheesy, but in sincere words, always lies a person's purest feelings. That's even cheesier now. In short, from today onwards, let's be sincere with each other again, okay? Ruyan, no more keeping any secrets. Can we go back to how our relationship used to be? My tone, words, heartbeat, and breathing all reached the most affectionate realm at this moment. Even though Liu Ruyan knew I was just talking nonsense, her body still honestly accepted it. Simply put, she was fooled to the point of daze. She instinctively rested her chin on my shoulder, quietly feeling the warmth that belonged only to them. Okay. The young woman's voice was very soft. So soft it was mixed with a hint of tenderness. This was an emotion she had never revealed in front of me before. Whatever. I thought. At least the fractured feelings between us had been mended. We are still the close childhood sweethearts we once were. Ding. Target detected to be fully convinced. System self-destruct sequence aborted. Host is truly awesome. Your flirting skills are indeed professional. The system, while aborting the self-destruct sequence, didn't forget to give me a compliment. My recent maneuver was absolutely the greatest it had ever seen since becoming a system. A solution requiring no technical skill, purely emotional. Most importantly, I poured my emotions into it, and that's one thing. But I didn't even say anything substantial and still managed to sweet-talk her. Amazing. Truly too amazing. If it had such high emotional intelligence, like me back then the goddess Tongzi it secretly admired, perhaps in the end, wouldn't have married a rich fat pig system. The more I talk, the more heartbroken I become. Xiao Mu. Suddenly, Liu Ruyan spoke up. I replied, what's wrong? You said so much just now, but it seems you still haven't told me whether you actually have a system or not. Ding. Warning. Warning. System detected to be at risk of exposure. Host, if you do not act to quell the opponent's suspicion, the system will activate self-destruct mode. Countdown. I thought. Get lost. This trick can be extended too? I am sorry. I've hidden it from you. Without a second thought, I decisively apologized. Liu Ruyan was stunned. Actually, my abilities are all because old Dang took me to Hawaii to train for them. Hawaii. Do they also teach people how to use their body to stop a truck there? That's right. Because it's not normal Hawaii. It's the Hawaii from textbooks, so that's how it is. Liu Ruyan immediately understood after the explanation. That explains it then. If it's that legendary Hawaii, then even if I were to barehandedly rip out a heart now, Liu Ruyan wouldn't find it strange at all. In short, it was perfectly logical. 1 week later, Mu, Tangchun and I were successfully discharged from the hospital. Our injuries were not severe to begin with. We could have returned home for recuperation earlier, but at Mu Changqian's strong request, we had to stay here for a while longer. The entire Mu family sat at the dining table, raising their glasses, congratulating Xiao Mu and Xiao Chun on their successful discharge. Everyone clinked their glasses together. The atmosphere was very joyful. After drinking, Mu Qianqian actively stood up and led the 4 Mu sisters in front of me. They simultaneously bowed to thank me for this incident. Thank you very, very much. Xiao Mu, thanks to you, Xiao Chun was able to get her life back. My 5 children and I are extremely grateful for your selfless help. Mu Qianqian's tone was very sincere. A few tears still lingered in her eyes. If I hadn't chased after them that day, perhaps she would have had to bury her own child. Such a great kindness. I don't know how to repay it. It's not necessary. We are all family. Auntie, please don't say such things. I quickly reached out to help Mu Changchen up, my elders bowing to me. What kind of propriety is this? I thought to myself, if it were old Deng, that'd be fine. That would be somewhat acceptable. At least I'd feel comfortable inside. No. Business is business. I definitely must thank you properly. No, absolutely not. It's natural for an older brother to protect his younger sisters. No. Protection also has limits. This is a debt of gratitude. Mu Changchen and I put on a show of mutual assistance. I helped Auntie up once. Auntie helped me up once. A moment later, both of us were prostrate on the ground. I wouldn't get up. Auntie wouldn't get up either. The four daughters looked at each other. All saw surprise in each other's eyes. So Mom is usually this abstract too. All right. If you two keep this up, you'll end up bowing and getting married. Then what am I? The useless husband in a drama, I guess. Mu Feng stepped forward at this moment to smooth things over and reconcile. At the same time, he reached out his hand to help Mu Changchen, who was prostrate on the ground, get up. Only then did this family's ridiculous drama of gratitude finally end. All right, let's stop this here. You've thanked our son already, and he's received your thanks. Everyone is still a happy family. How delightful. How delightful. Truly delightful. Mu Feng was the first to applaud, immediately agreeing. Well said, he exclaimed, and his four daughters followed suit with applause. Excellent, excellent. Just like that, what was supposed to be a simple celebratory dinner suddenly turned into a game to see who could clap the loudest. Liu Ruyan watched this scene with a face full of dark lines. This family truly has a bit of an unbearable quirk in everyone. A moment later, everyone finished eating. Liu Ruyan stood up first and slung the pre-packed backpack over her shoulder. Uncle Mu, Auntie Mu, and my little sisters, I won't bother you anymore. Take my leave first. So soon? Aren't you going to stay a few more days? Mu Feng spoke, trying to persuade her to stay. No, thank you. I have to go back to school tonight, and then I have other things to do, Liu Ruyan said with a hint of regret. I secretly leaned closer to tease her. What's so important? Are you going to find a boyfriend? Mu Jie, could you please not make me want to beat you up? At this moment of farewell, Ruyan smiled gently. Her eyes narrowed, her tone sounding extremely dangerous. Hearing that, I immediately and cowardly shrank my neck. Go get the car. Then I quickly scurried down to the parking garage. After I left, Ruyan very politely bowed to Mu Feng and Mu Changchen, bending slightly. So that's how everything is. Goodbye, Uncle Mu, Auntie Mu, and my sisters. Come visit again during summer vacation. Mu Feng waved his hand. All right. Be careful on your way. I sent you some red envelopes. Consider it living expenses. Remember not to tell your old man about it. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Uncle Mu. Mu Changchen smiled gently. Auntie will wait for you. Next time you visit, Auntie will cook delicious food for you. Yes? Definitely come. The three sisters simultaneously waved goodbye to Liu Ruyan. Goodbye, Sister Liu. Goodbye. Bring you gifts next time. After Liu Ruyan bid farewell to everyone, she turned and walked down to the parking garage. Oh, wait. Why were there only three sisters? Liu Ruyan suddenly wondered. Could it be that she miscounted? She spread her fingers and counted, but eventually found she couldn't keep track, so she stopped thinking about it. Never mind. Let it be. At the airport, I drove Liu Ruyan there. The young woman quickly got out of the car. All right, dropping me off here is fine. Thanks. Xiao for driving me this far. Are you giving a tip? No, then you can scram. With that attitude, Liu Ruyan looked at me with a slightly disdainful gaze. Immediately after, she took out her phone and started doing something. Ding. WeChat received 8,000 yuan. The phone notification rang. I was a bit stunned. This is the red envelope Uncle Mu gave me. I still have some money in my bank account, so I am giving it all to you. Consider it startup capital for your studio. Remember to save me some shares when the time comes. Liu Ruyan smiled at me. Then she turned and left. Watching the young woman's retreating figure, the corners of my mouth couldn't help but curve upwards. You silly girl. I would have saved you a share, even if you hadn't said anything. The feelings between Liu Ruyan and me had already surpassed normal sibling and friend affection. Then you must keep your word. Okay? Liu Ruyan suddenly turned back, startling me. Hey, you. All right, I am really leaving this time. Remember to take good care of yourself. This time. Liu Ruyan really left. Even when leaving, she didn't forget to tease me a bit. I watched her as she entered the airport. My lips slightly pouted. Such a busybody. Inside the airport, Liu Ruyan looked back at my car, her lips slightly parted. Between the two of us, who is truly the foolish one? Fool. With that, she left. The young woman quickly walked towards the boarding gate. Sitting in the car, I took out my phone and started booking a plane ticket for myself. I had been preparing for a beach vacation for a long time, to fully relax. Now, it's convenient to participate in a competition. No need to study for the July final exams. Plus, it's currently the off-peak travel season. There will probably be fewer people at the beach. Absolutely perfect. Let's see. Tomorrow's plane ticket. Brother Mew G. I want to go too. Suddenly, a sweet voice rang out. Hearing this sudden statement, I was startled and hastily turned around to look behind me. I saw Mew Tangchun, who should have been at home, had somehow snuck into my car. The little girl was currently curious, looking at the ticketing app on my phone. I guess this little imp wants to tag along too. This little rascal. When did you get in? Right before you got in the car. I don't have the keys. How could I get in? Our car in the garage is never locked. Didn't you know? Mew Tangchun teased. Ever since we went through life and death together, my relationship with her had clearly become much closer. I was a bit speechless. How long has this little girl been with the Mew family? She's already started rummaging through our garage. Aren't you supposed to be in school? I asked back. Mew Tangchun pouted. What is there to learn in those summer classes? They're just there to soothe parents' anxiety. She might be right. I couldn't argue with that, because I used to skip school all the time too. Besides, my mom will ask for leave for us anyway. Even if Auntie Mew asked for leave for the kids, it would still be a bit much. Wait a minute, what did she say? Us? I suddenly froze. Then, before I could even react, by my car window, 3 adorable young women's heads unexpectedly popped up. Brother Mew, we also want to go to Swan Lake Mall. I looked at the 4 plane tickets that appeared on my phone, and the 4 Mew sisters, walking hand in hand in front of me. The corners of my mouth twitched uncontrollably. Wasn't this supposed to be my personal vacation? How did it suddenly turn into 5 people? Speechless. I couldn't figure it out. Even now, I still vaguely remember the scene last night after returning home. Mew Feng and Mew Qianqian, with serious expressions, entrusted the 4 sisters to me. Mew Feng wailed, My 4 daughters. Their future is entirely entrusted to you. Wah! Mew Qian shed tears. From birth until now, they've never traveled so far. If they do anything wrong, please be more forgiving, and overlook their mistakes. Okay? Wah! The 4 sisters also cried along at that moment. They embraced each other with immense affection. So, I am an outsider. Huh? If my self-control hadn't been strong enough, I probably would have flipped the table right then and there. Damn it. I am not marrying all 4 sisters. Do they really need to be so melodramatic? And that old man. He didn't even bother giving me travel expenses, and even said good things like, as the eldest brother of the bunch, you are responsible for covering all travel expenses for your sisters. As for financial assistance or anything like that, there's not a single penny. Damn. Does this old man think my money grows on trees? Thinking of this, I opened my bank account to check. Balance. 200,000 yuan. Indeed. I am still a penniless nobody. Brother Mew, hurry up. Mew Yuye walked ahead, waving at me. So they went up to the clothing store on the 3rd floor. The plane tickets were booked for 6 p.m., so the 4 sisters decided to buy swimsuits for the beach at the clothing store first, before heading to the airport, and I, as their temporary guardian, naturally had to follow the 4 of them. I sighed helplessly, then followed in the footsteps of the 4 sisters. Swimwear store on the 3rd floor. Since today was a work day, there weren't many people in the store. The mall looked a bit deserted. Welcome to our swimwear store. May I help you with anything? The enthusiastic sales clerk approached. Mu Yulu adjusted her glasses. We'll browse by ourselves first. If we need anything, we'll call you. Yes, miss. All swimsuits in our store can be tried on. The fitting rooms are over here. Enjoy your shopping. The sales clerk finished speaking and turned to leave. No need to introduce products. She was happy to be at leisure. Mew Tangchun looked at all sorts of swimsuits in front of her, with stars sparkling in her eyes. This is so cool. This is my first time buying a swimsuit. Their family wasn't overly poor before, but they weren't exactly rich either. Plus, there were many chores at home, so they had never been swimming since birth, nor had they ever been to the beach. This was still the first time. Mew Yuye picked up a 3-piece bikini to look at. The corner of her mouth couldn't help but twitch. Are we really going to wear this set? This is too revealing. It's practically like not wearing anything. Mew Nai covered her eyes with both hands, her small face blushing. Don't look at indecency. Don't look at indecency. Don't look at indecency. Oh, it's just a small matter. I see people wearing them like this all the time in TV dramas. Mu Yulu didn't pay much attention to this matter. She glanced at Mew Tangchun and casually picked out a child's swimsuit for her. Xiao Chun. This swimsuit would look great on your figure. Hey, eldest sister. This is children's clothing. Oh. Is it? I clearly chose it according to your figure. I don't have a child's figure. Mew Tangchun was furious. She hated it most when anyone mentioned her figure, even if it was her own eldest sister. Ha ha ha. Sorry. Sorry. Mu Yulu apologized without a hint of sincerity. Mu Tangshun angrily puffed out her cheeks and pouted. Beside me, Mu Nai held a swimsuit that wasn't too revealing. It wasn't backless, was white, and had straps. She walked up to me and quietly asked, Mu, brother Mu, what do you think of this one? Hearing that, I observed it carefully. It's pretty good, really, but the top is a bit small. You'll surely need something larger than this. More nourishment. I was about to say Mu Nai is actually quite well endowed, but I suddenly felt that saying it like that would be too rude, so I corrected myself. Mu Nai's face flushed crimson, her mind reeling. I'll go change to a larger size right away. After speaking, the young woman scurried away. So, in Brother Mu's eyes, I am actually that big? Mu Nai recalled my unfinished sentence just now, and felt her cheeks burn. How embarrassing. Just then, Mu Yuye, wearing a black sports swimsuit, walked up to me, very generously, showing off her incredibly hot figure. Yo-hoo, big brother, how about this set? I was a bit helpless. Hey, how much do you actually like black, Mu Yue? No matter if it's everyday clothes, household items, sports headbands, or the basketball she's using, they're all black. She looks like a gloomy shut-in. It's not pretty. The sun is very intense at the beach. Black absorbs heat. Do you want to get baked? So that means it's very pretty. Boss, wrap this set up for me. Mu Yuye completely ignored the main point of my words and skipped away immediately. I thought to myself, all right then, another one who doesn't understand human speech. Brother Mu, can you help me choose a set? Mu Yulu came to my side at this moment. She believed that, with my aesthetic taste, I could definitely help her choose a fantastic swimsuit. Me? Yes. All right. Let me see. I didn't refuse. I vaguely remembered Mu Qiangqian once saying that I should guide the four sisters' fashion sense, but looking at the current situation, I think Mu Yuye can be ruled out already. This girl is completely obsessed with black. I pushed up the sunglasses on my face and began searching through a sea of swimsuits. Very quickly, a swimsuit woven from platinum-colored fabric, a separate short skirt style made of thin chiffon, caught my eye. Under the surrounding lights, that outfit seemed to emit an angelic glow. Important areas were not exposed, while also being very cool. It perfectly matched Mu Yula's golden hair. How about this one? I said. Mu Yulu followed my gaze, and also saw the swimsuit, that platinum-colored one. Her beautiful eyes lit up. So beautiful. The young woman loved the swimsuit at first sight. I am going to try it on. Mu Yulu grabbed the swimsuit and dashed into the fitting room. She seemed very excited. She must really like it. She really likes that style. Hey. Mu J. Suddenly, Mu Tangchun's voice rang out. I turned my head to look, only to see in the fitting room next door, Mu Tangchun, revealing her fair shoulders, was now blushing, peeking out from the door cautiously, calling me in a voice as tiny as a mosquito's. What's wrong? I asked casually. My hair is stuck. In the fitting room, Mu Tangchun blushed and leaned her hands against the wall, her soft body trembling slightly. The air temperature around seemed a bit high, perhaps due to the breath of the two of them. Behind Mu Tangchun was me, who had just stepped in. I was currently helping the young woman untangle the strands of hair caught in her zipper, but because the space in the fitting room was very small, our bodies were forced to be close to each other. I was compelled to feel the other's body temperature, and I didn't know if it was Mu Tangchun's illusion or not. The girl seemed to feel a hidden weapon. Still not done. Mu Tangchun's voice had a hint of subtlety. Before, she probably wouldn't have reacted so strongly, and might have even felt disgusted. But ever since the two of them resolved their differences, Mu Tangchun's favorability towards me had changed drastically, and at the same time, she couldn't help but feel embarrassed, even though she had already been seen entirely by me once before. Your hair is too long, and it's tangled in the zipper a lot. Of course it's going to be slow. Don't you usually tie your hair up? I asked. Mu Tangchun shook her head. No. Doesn't it bother you? It does. So why don't you tie it? I don't know how to tie it. Mu Tangchun pouted. She doesn't want to tie her hair. She wants to desperately. It's just that her practical skills are too poor. She can never learn. I couldn't help but laugh. So there are times when you're this silly too. HMH? You can't talk to me like that. Mu Tangchun puffed out her cheeks. I raised my hands in surrender. All right. I won't say it anymore. You're the best. Perfunctorily. Normally, when answering perfunctorily, you wouldn't even bother saying a word. HMPH. This is barely acceptable. The young woman's temper was erratic, came quickly, and left quickly. A moment later, I finally helped Mu Tangchun untangle all the hair stuck in her zipper. Ah, that hurts. Mu Tangchun unconsciously clutched her head, because the last strand of hair was forcefully pulled out by me, so the pain was quite distinct. This is a punishment for a silly kid. I placed that pink strand of hair into Mu Tangchen's hand, as if to make her remember the lesson. The young woman puffed out her cheeks. I am not a silly kid. You got your own hair stuck, and you're not silly. I just wanted to create an opportunity for a big brother like you to show off, just a little. Mu Tangchen turned her head away petulantly. That's right. She didn't get her hair stuck due to carelessness. She just wanted me to be less idle, to have a sense of participation between siblings. Yes, then thank you, my little sister, my youngest little sister. I smiled meaningfully. Then I turned and walked out of the fitting room, leaving Mu Tangchen alone inside, fuming but unable to do anything. I mentioned again that she was small, but she couldn't refute it. This guy is truly infuriating, as expected. After I entered the fitting room, there were no suggestive scenes, often found in light novels, nor was there any so-called steamy scene. It was just an atmosphere filled with a bit of hormones. Sometimes, I even doubted if I was truly a light novel protagonist. Come on. Bring on the steamy scenes. After a while of busyness, the four girls finally finished choosing their swimsuits. I swiped my card, and the bank deducted 2,011 yuan. Great! 4 swimsuits instantly cost over 2,000 yuan. The most expensive one among them was the platinum-colored set I chose for Mu Yulu, over 800 yuan. Even if I wanted to cry, I still had to pay this amount. This time, Big Brother spent a lot. Mu Yuye raised her hand and patted my shoulder. Her radiant face showed no hint of embarrassment. I have to say, this girl is truly carefree. She completely regarded me as her biological older brother and started extracting money from me. It's fine, just pocket change. I forced a generous smile. Mu Tangchen spread out her small hand. Give me 10,000. To see your true strength. I think you look like 10,000. I said, annoyed. We just made up. This little imp is already taking an inch when given a mile. Mu Yulu took a step forward at this moment. All right, everyone. We've finished buying our swimsuits, so let's head to the airport. Let's go. Let's go. The other 3 responded in unison. Mu Yulu tilted her head and looked at me. Brother Mu, let's go. Wait a minute. I am going to buy this. After saying that, I turned and walked into the accessory store next door. I raised my hand and gently tapped her head. Enough with the sass. You hit me again. Mu Tangchen was a bit dissatisfied, but in the end, she still obediently turned around and said nothing more. Seeing that Mu Tangchen was obedient now, I immediately took it out from my shirt pocket. Took it out. The little crow-shaped hair tie I just bought at Swan Lake Mall. I skillfully started tying my little sister's hair. Every word the young woman said, I kept in my heart. You know how to tie hair. Mu Tangchen was a little surprised. She hadn't expected me to know how to do this. Before, I used to have really long wolf-cut hair, so I taught myself for a while. I explained briefly. Oh, I see. Mu Tangchen first enlightened. Then, with a teasing tone, she said, I thought you used to tie it for your girlfriend. Even if I have a girlfriend, that's not something a little sister should meddle with. You really do? You talk too much. Don't. Just tell me. I am super curious about your past love life. Sorry. No comment. I won't casually reveal the shameful truth that I've never had a girlfriend before. I quickly finished tying Mu Tangchen's hair. Then I patted her little head. Done. This way your hair won't get caught anymore. Mu Tangchen puffed out her little mouth. I already said it was just a small accident. All right. Small accident. Small accident. I yawned indifferently. Mu Tangchen didn't press the issue much further. She looked in the mirror, admiring her completely new appearance reflected there. A sparkling glint gradually appeared in her beautiful eyes. It's beautiful. Not just her, but the hairstyle I tied for her is also very beautiful. He's really multi-talented. Moreover, Mu Tangchen suddenly thought of something. A faint blush unconsciously appeared on her small face. He actually kept that in mind and quickly took action. This made Mu Tangchen feel, after such a long time, the feeling of being valued again. Her heart also warmed with it. Clearly, her hair issue was just a small thing. What's wrong? Not pretty. Just so you know, you can't return it if you don't like it. I saw Mu Tangchen spacing out, and immediately issued a disclaimer. The young woman snapped back to reality. She haughtily turned her head to the side. That's right. It's not pretty. Your skill is truly terrible compared to my eldest sister. TSK. I thought to myself. I was just being polite. She actually took it seriously and evaluated it. Therefore, to improve your skill, I've decided. My hair will be entirely entrusted to you to tie from now on. Mu G. Little classmate, for my ego, I am willing to sacrifice my flowing hair. Hey, aren't you just trying to exploit my labor? Just happily. Let's decide on that. Mu Tangchen turned and ran into the restroom, giving me no chance to refute. I helplessly put both hands in my pockets. Honestly, little sisters are really hard to please. Immediately after, I also turned and entered the bull restroom. 5 minutes later, I was washing my hands at the sink. A beautifully dressed woman suddenly approached and came next to me. Hello, handsome. Your style is so unique. Can we be friends? The woman took the initiative to speak very politely. At the same time, she held out the QR code on her phone. All right, I am not against girls proactively asking for contact information. I don't reject it at all. After all, I am not Liu Xiaohui. What kind of noble gentleman? Plus, I don't have a girlfriend right now. Why not? The woman's eyes lit up slightly. That's great. Nice to meet you. Sorry about that. I don't agree. Just as I was about to scan her QR code, Mu Tangxin suddenly rushed out from beside me and hugged my arm tightly and directly snatched my phone. The woman was a bit surprised. Oh, do you have a girlfriend? No. She's just. I am his girlfriend, so sorry, miss. Mu Tangxin smiled very politely. Seeing this, the woman looked at me with a strange gaze. A strong look of disdain appeared in her eyes. At this moment, I also felt uneasy, wanting to explain that. Listen to me. You scumbag. Asking for contact info when you already have a girlfriend. Wasting such a cute girl. Saying this, she put away her phone and quickly left the area. I watched the woman's departing back, speechlessly glancing at Mu Tangxin, who was secretly laughing beside me. Ruining your brother's love life. Is that really so fun for you? Huh. How did you know? It's written all over your face. Oh, come on. Don't mind the small details. Anyway, I don't think you liked her that much. Instead of wasting time later, it's better if I help you. Cut off all trouble from the start. Mu Tangxin swung her small hand in her pocket, meddling. This is called meticulous selection from your sister. Okay, sister. I remember, someone just said. She was my girlfriend. I looked at Mu Tangxin with a teasing expression. Mu Tangxin heard that and immediately averted her gaze, beginning to feign amnesia. Oh, was there such a thing? How could Zhao Chun, with such a good memory, not know? Suddenly, I moved very fast. Before the young woman could react, I pinned her against the wall. The distance between our faces began to close. The atmosphere gradually became ambiguous. Mu Tangxin, this isn't good. Is this the legendary sky of destiny? Your sentence just now, I heard every single word. You know, if I can't find a girlfriend later, you'll have to take responsibility. I looked down at Mu Tangxin from above. The young woman was now like a little lamb, hiding in the corner, trembling. Take responsibility how? Huh? What are you laughing at again? Hey, does that even need to be said? Of course, Mu Yulu was a little confused. She was just about to follow, but I quickly came out from inside. The whole process took less than 5 seconds. Done, let's go. I walked at the front of the line. Mu Yulu thought to herself, Muji, is he always that fast? At the front of the line, Mu Yuye saw me arrive, and very naturally hugged my arm, and started introducing. Her basketball skills that night truly outclassed everyone, even though I didn't understand any of it. But Mu Yue still talked endlessly, forgetting everything else, as if they were truly biological siblings. After parking at the airport, I led the 4 girls through security. Let's go check in first. Then, after the second security check, we can rest, I said, looking at my phone. Mu Tangxin tilted her head in confusion. What is check-in? You don't know? I gave her a slightly strange look. Then I looked at the others, and found that they all had blank expressions. Bop. I slapped my forehead. I almost forgot. These 4 little sisters have never flown before. Of course, they wouldn't know about check-in, so I explained. Check-in is printing your boarding pass and choosing your seat. Only after checking in can you board the plane. It's not like everything is fine once you buy a ticket online. Oh, I see. The 4 of them suddenly understood. My knowledge has expanded. Going on a trip really does teach you a lot. Let's go. I'll take you through it once. The process. I led the way towards the check-in counter. The 4 girls followed closely behind, with me personally leading the way. The process then became very simple, since I advocated for light packing when traveling. So this time when we went out, we only brought 2 suitcases. After finishing the baggage check-in, the 4 girls looked at the boarding passes in their hands, as if they had seen something very new and strange. They picked up their phones and started taking selfies to record our first time flying. It could be seen. The girls were all very happy, for everyone. The first time experiencing new things. Their hearts couldn't help but be excited. Muji, come here and take a picture with us. Mu Yulu invited me at this moment. I waved my hand. No. I don't have a habit of taking pictures. Huh? Is that real or fake? Mu Yulu was a little surprised. She saw me dress so flamboyantly every day. She thought I loved taking photos. That's right. You guys can just take pictures. No. I still want to take a picture with Muji. Mu Yue suddenly took a step forward and tightly hugged my right arm. I want to too. Mu Nai also became bolder, quickly hugging my other arm. Today, whether you want to be this bodyguard or not, You have to. Mu Tangchen got a running start and directly jumped onto my back. That's right. A family should be complete. This is how it should be. Mu Yulu, in front of me, also rarely, revealed the innocent and romantic characteristic of a young girl. She stepped back and leaned into my embrace, then raised her phone towards everyone. 3, 2, 1. Eggplant. Click. Along with a soft sound. The first group photo of me and the 4 sisters was born. After passing the second security check, everyone went to the waiting area to rest. After I arranged seats for the 4 girls, I stood up and headed towards the restroom in the waiting area. Today, it seems I ate something wrong. Mu Ge. Are you going to the restroom too? Suddenly, Mu Tangchen mischievously jumped out from behind me and lightly bumped me with her butt. Yeah. What a coincidence. Me too. I was a little helpless. This kind of thing doesn't need to be reported, right? How should I put it? I feel like I should still tell you. What if I fall into a pit? At least you'll be there to pull me out. Going into the woman's restroom means 3 years in prison. You know, I don't want to waste my youth. It's fine. I'll bail you out then. Mu Tangchen grinned. I glared at her. HMPH. You'll definitely stab me in the back then. Oh, come on. How could you expose my thoughts like that? Are you really planning to stab me in the back? Hee hee. Whether you get stabbed or not, it still depends on your performance. Mu Tangchen covered her mouth and laughed, then turned and headed towards the woman's restroom on the other side. I tilted my head slightly, seeing the pink hair of the young woman flowing freely. I called the young woman back. Mu Tangchen turned her head to look at me with a little doubt. What's wrong? Come here. I waved my hand at her. Although Mu Tangchen had some doubts in her heart, she still walked up to me. What's up? Turn around. Huh? What strange line is that? I feel like I've heard it in some obscure movie before. Mu Tangchen suddenly felt a little chill. Over there, Mu Yulu and the other 2 were sitting in the waiting area, also encountered a situation similar to this. 3 handsome young men came to ask for their contact information. After all, the 4 Mu sisters each had their own unique beauty. Even if they didn't intentionally dress up, they still stood out in the crowd like cranes among chickens. However, compared to my attitude of not refusing anyone who came, the 3 sisters had a different way of responding. Mu Yulu coldly pushed up her glasses. Sorry, I have no intention of dating at the moment. Mu Yuye laughed heartily. If you want to play basketball, then sure. But what good is dating to me? Can it help me improve my basketball skills? Of course, if you can beat me, then it's not impossible to consider. Mu Naiyi directly threw her phone away. I don't have a phone. The young man opposite, well done. He's become a clown. After that, those who brought boredom upon themselves didn't linger and quickly turned around and left. However, among them, a Beifa Shaonian before leaving, turned his head to look at Mu Naiyi again. His expression was a bit pensive. The corner of his mouth curled up slightly. Interesting. Very quickly. Mu Tangchen. And I walked over from not too far away. Mu Yulu saw Mu Tangchen's slightly flushed cheeks and curiously asked, What's wrong with you? Too hot? It seems like there's air conditioning in the airport. No, I am fine. Nothing's wrong with me. It's just that the amount of activity was a bit much. Mu Tangchen raised her hand to fan herself. Her voice was a little flustered. A lot of activity. Mu Yulu was confused. What kind of activity is involved in going to the restroom? Mu Yuye then leaned closer. Xiao-chun, your new hairstyle is so pretty. Did you tie it yourself? Mu Naiyi also agreed. Pretty. Mu Tangchen glanced at me and said somewhat triumphantly, This small matter. Of course, I don't need to do it myself. Little Mu Ji can handle it right away. Wow. Mu Ji is so skilled. Mu Yuyi was not stingy with her praise. Mu Yula's eyes also lit up. Mu Ji really knows a lot of things. Mu Naiyi whispered. I wanted to. Don't fuss. This is nothing big. It's very simple. Being flattered by 3 little sisters like this, I felt a secret joy in my heart. But outwardly, I maintained a very humble demeanor. Hey, I shouldn't say it. Ever since I got sisters, many things I learned before all had a chance to be shown off. A sense of accomplishment naturally arose in my heart. I walked to one side, picked up Mu Naiyi's phone and handed it to her. Why throw your phone away? This isn't an old brick Nokia. No. It's fine. The young woman took the phone and didn't say that she herself didn't want to give others her contact information, which is why she threw her phone. Mu Yuyi then stepped forward and directly used her head to butt my chest. Mu Ji. I want my hair tied too. Does this girl want to headbutt me to death? Oh, my bad. Playing basketball always involves some small movements. I am used to it. Mu Yuye smiled somewhat awkwardly. I have to say, the people in this city are still too civilized when playing basketball. If this were back where she came from, as soon as physical contact started, opponents and teammates would already be elbowing her. In order to win in confrontation, she even specially trained in this elbowing skill. Heaven-defying, let's talk about heaven-defying things later. You tie my hair first. No. Your hair is too short. No way. It's not short at all. Even if it's a small braid, I won't mind. I mind, it's a waste of skill. Don't scold. Don't scold. Mu Yuye clung to me, insisting that I tie her hair. I waved my hand in refusal, and so, the two of them kept competing. Mu Tangchun, beside them, helplessly held her forehead. Honestly, this second sister of hers sometimes gets so playful. Her childishness is even more concentrated than hers. Mu Nai happily watched all of this. She really liked these warm family days. Only Mu Yulu saw the intimacy between Mu Yuye and me as we played around. She didn't know why, but she suddenly felt a little uncomfortable in her heart. Her small hands clenched together. She wanted to. She also wanted to play around with me like that, but as the eldest daughter of the Mu family, could she really, in front of her younger sisters, freely express her immature feelings? Mu Yulu didn't understand, and it was this very lack of understanding that plunged Mu Yulu into a dilemma. Very quickly, it was 6 p.m. I, along with the four sisters, had already passed through the ticket gate and boarded the plane headed for the seaside. Our seats were very good, all in one row. I sat in the outermost seat. Mu Yulu sat in the middle. Mu Tangchun, with the most active personality, sat in the window seat. She wanted to admire the view after the plane took off. On my other side, which was the left half of the entire row of seats, the window seat was taken by Mu Yuye. She and Mu Tangchun had the same idea. The middle seat was Mu Nai. She looked a little tense, probably feeling scared of new things. Next, the two young women. The last seat in that row was actually the Beifa Xiaonian who had previously asked for Mu Nai's contact information. He looked at Mu Nai with an astonished expression. The corner of his mouth curled up. Oh my, what a coincidence, miss. I didn't expect our seats to be so fated. Today, even heaven is helping him. Hello. Mu Nai was also a bit stunned at this moment. She hadn't expected such a coincidence to happen in the world. It's just that she didn't want this kind of coincidence. The Beifa Xiaonian quickly sat down and immediately started chatting with Mu Nai. Miss, your phone-throwing move today was really accurate. Did you train in some kind of technique? I really couldn't tell. But then again, if you didn't want to be friends with me, you could have just said so directly. Why throw your phone? Aren't you afraid of wasting money? Or maybe, miss, you're a rich person. You don't care about this small change. I didn't expect that while traveling, I could meet a young lady who is beautiful, kind, and so wealthy. What good luck. I feel like I can buy a lottery ticket when I get home. The Beifa Xiaonian's mouth certainly knew how to talk. Once he started, he couldn't stop at all, especially since Mu Nai was sitting right next to him now. He naturally had to seize this opportunity well. However, Mu Nai was continuously bombarded by the Beifa Xiaonian. She just felt her head was about to explode. Too noisy, too noisy, too noisy. Mu Nai hated noisy environments. Loud noises would make her recall past traumas. Their voices were also that noisy. Hello, young lady. If you just let me talk by myself like this, you should say something too. Otherwise, it will make me feel a little awkward. Tell me. Isn't that right? You know you're awkward, yet you keep talking there. Is your face made of city walls? Just then, I, sitting one aisle away from the Beifa Xiaonian, suddenly spoke up. I pulled down the pink sunglasses on my face. My eyes were full of indifference. TSK. What an annoying brat. The Beifa Xiaonian looked at me, who had suddenly spoken, and was momentarily stunned. Excuse me, are you talking to me? Although the young man was a bit confused, his outer appearance remained as smiling as usual. Only his eyes unconsciously narrowed, looking a bit dangerous. I casually said, human language is for humans to hear. If you're not human, you won't hear it. Then let's just say I am casting pearls before swine, my friend. Although everyone has the right to free speech. But talking like this is undeniably too hurtful to others. Is that so? Then I am truly sorry. I usually talk like that. Please be a bit more tolerant. Oh, that's not right. Now, I should say you'd look a bit more handsome if you lost weight. I have only one principle when it comes to dealing with people and things. That is, I cannot allow myself to suffer a loss. The Beifa Xiaonian, being spoken to like that by me, immediately looked a bit unable to hold back. My friend, please tell me, have I offended you in any way? If so, I can apologize. But if you just want to show off your rudeness in front of this young lady, then I ask you to retract that impoliteness. Don't spoil everyone's mood for the flight. The white-haired youth presumptuously regarded me as his rival, and subconsciously, he thought, I wanted to use him as a stepping stone to impress Mu Nai, to leave a really good, cool impression. I retorted with a question. You already know you're wrong, so where's the apology? The white-haired youth, being adaptable, immediately opened his mouth to apologize. My brother, I apologize for speaking a bit too loudly and disturbing you. Please forgive me. He was very clever with his words, whether it was stirring up trouble earlier or his apology now. Every word turned me into an unreasonable troublemaker and a delinquent youth with violent tendencies. Moreover, my way of dressing also perfectly fit the prejudice of a delinquent youth in everyone's minds. You're apologizing to the wrong person. It's her. I pointed towards Mu next to the white-haired youth. The young lady was also looking at me at this moment. Brother Mu. The white-haired youth decisively turned his head to apologize to Mu. I apologize, beautiful young lady. I apologize to you for my mistake of speaking loudly earlier. Suddenly, I couldn't help but let out a soft chuckle. Hearing that, the white-haired youth faltered slightly, but still suppressed the discomfort in his heart, and smiled, saying, Brother, may I ask, did I do something that made you laugh? Oh, my bad, my grandma is having a baby. Can you come up with an even more perfunctory excuse? Of course I can. Let's hear it then. Tesk. Tesk. Your taste is quite peculiar. I mocked him without hesitation. No wonder you're a trendy youth. Your taste is truly unique. You actually enjoy hearing these kinds of things. The white-haired youth was almost at his breaking point with this guy. I looked at my phone. While continuing to speak, your mistake is going against the young lady's wishes and continuously chattering, affecting others. Please stop attributing your mistakes to those inconsequential points. All right, you idiot. That last sentence, wasn't it still implicitly defending yourself? Have you no shame? The white-haired youth took a deep breath and said with a half-smile, Sir, may I ask what I do has anything to do with you? Or perhaps, do you and this young lady have some special relationship? You're not perhaps eyeing her beauty out of greed, and then develop malice towards me, are you? The white-haired youth was still trying to use words to make those around him grow suspicious of me. After all, his image was infinitely better than a delinquent youth like me. However, although the white-haired youth's words were sharp, the people around him weren't fools. Seeing my attire, they wouldn't actively help an outsider by condemning someone who looked hard to mess with. Furthermore, they were currently in a confined space. If they were targeted by me due to a moment of impulse, then this flight wouldn't be pleasant at all. Everyone was an adult, as long as what I did wasn't too excessive. They would all turn a blind eye, unlike those hot-blooded youths who would act impulsively with their blood rushing to their heads. You must know, most people on this flight were traveling with their families who would want to take such a risk. I also guessed this point. That's why I had a backing and wasn't afraid. It's all right. I couldn't help but chuckle, and immediately tilted my head to speak to Mu. Scaredy cat, come here. Seeing this, the white-haired youth couldn't help but burst out laughing. No way, bro. You're not. You don't actually think that using your delinquent status can intimidate this beautiful young lady, do you? This is a society governed by law now, and you're calling her Scaredy cat. Do you even know her? Who's named Scaredy cat these days? If you're just showing off, forget it. To truly lose all face, it's truly more harm than good. The white-haired youth observed and realized the Mu sisters all had their own unique natural hair colors, while my wolf-cut hair was clearly dyed. No matter how you look at it, there's no way he could be related to these beautiful young ladies. No way. Absolutely. No way. Come here. Mu heard my call and immediately stood up, carefully and cautiously avoiding the white-haired youth, and walked up to me. Mu Yuye, who was next to her, also followed closely. She had long found this guy annoying. If it weren't for not wanting to cause trouble for me, she would have already given him a fatal elbow jab. Not only that, Mu Tangchun and Mu Yulu, who were sitting next to me, also stood up, determined to back me up. In an instant, 4 beautiful young ladies with exquisite looks surrounded me. The white-haired youth, no, that's wrong. They actually seem to know each other. Damn it. Why? Why do all the good girls end up following a delinquent youth after comforting them? Can I finally meddle in others' business now? I politely asked. The others stood behind me with determined expressions, unanimously presenting a united front. Even Mu Tangchun, who usually loved to play tricks, was incredibly keen on saving face at this moment. The white-haired youth's mouth twitched. Heh, this time, he's truly become a clown. Just at this moment, a flight attendant walked over and reminded us, Passenger, our plane is about to take off. Please take your seats according to your tickets, in your designated positions. The white-haired youth also grasped the key point at this moment. A cold, teasing smile curled at the corner of his mouth. Kid, did you hear that? The plane is about to take off. So what if you all know each other? That woman will still have to sit next to me in the end. Won't she? What should I say then? Isn't that my business? That's right. That's right. That's how it is. As soon as the plane takes off, hell have plenty of opportunities to discuss that woman and that man. what he couldn't have. He absolutely wouldn't let the other party live in peace, hearing the white-haired youth's words. All four girls looked indignant, glaring at him. Mu Yulu even clenched her small fists. This guy. Mu Yu cracked her knuckles. Nobody stop me. Let me punch this scumbag to death. Mu Nei clutched the corner of my shirt tightly. I don't want to sit with him. Mu Tangchen was also seeing this kind of scene for the first time in her life. Damn it. Only today have I discovered that there's someone in this world even more shameless than you. Brother, say whatever you want. Anyway, I'll do what I am supposed to do. If you've got the guts, then don't take this flight. The white-haired youth shamelessly resorted to dirty tricks. Today, he didn't believe that the five of them would be willing to forfeit their plane tickets. You should know that plane tickets from inland to the sea were not a small sum. The four girls saw the white-haired youth acting shamelessly. Although very angry, they were helpless. After all, these plane tickets were indeed very expensive, and they truly couldn't bear to forfeit them. The white-haired youth looked at everyone's expressions, and immediately showed a smug, villainous face. What now? No way out, right? Well, too bad then. Someone like me usually has no hobbies. I just like seeing you all hate me, but can't do anything about it. Ha ha ha. Who said there's no way? At this moment, I stood up, walked past the four girls, and went up to the flight attendant, and took out my bank card. All right. We're upgrading. Yes. Yes. Sir, may I ask if you'd like to upgrade to premium economy? No. We're upgrading to first class. 5 people. Upgrade all of us. I spoke very generously. In an instant, the white-haired youth's smug expression immediately froze in place. No way, bro. You actually have this much power? Then why were you sitting in economy in the first place? Oh, right. Didn't someone want to pursue my scaredy cat? Then if you have the ability, follow us to first class. I added. Well. Surely someone doesn't lack this kind of power, do they? Kid, listen to me carefully. When you're out there, you talk with financial power. You talk with confidence. You're all talk. What good does it do? Without backing, you're still just a nobody. Damn you. Excuse me, sir, since you've insulted our esteemed guest. Therefore, we need to re-verify your plane ticket, as well as your personal information. Please cooperate. The flight attendant, before the white-haired youth could speak, actively stepped in to interrupt him. The white-haired youth. No way, sister. You're changing your tune way too fast. Afterwards, under the coordination of the flight attendant, the white-haired youth was ultimately escorted off the plane. After all, for them, every time there was an additional first-class esteemed guest, their revenue for this flight would increase several-fold. Not to mention, someone like me. Upgrading 5 people at once was truly the mark of a super-rich magnate. Very quickly, the plane took off. The white-haired youth watched the plane fly away, and could only remain in the waiting area, powerlessly raging. Damn it, I only managed to buy this plane ticket by swiping my credit card. On the plane, I watched the continuous stream of light outside the window. The system panel appeared before my eyes. Master. Current abilities, extreme heat resistance physique, riding the wind and breaking the waves, limitless. These are the system rewards I've recently received. Honestly, I felt that the system rewards given to me were completely unlike anything that should appear in a slice-of-life story. Instead, they lean more towards high martial arts urban fiction, especially that limitless ability. It was truly heaven-defying, making an ordinary person like me possess the ability to single-handedly stop a heavy-duty truck. Although I got a little injured, the results were still incredibly explosive. Sometimes I also wondered, if I continued completing system missions, how abnormal would I eventually become? Thinking of this, I looked at another one of my system missions. Plum blossoms bloom thrice. Unfinished. Ingredients: peach branch enchantment, peach blossom wine, gentle breeze in bamboo grove pond, purple clouds, smoky red grapes, scarlet leaves, yellow osmanthus hidden. Ability: heat up. Heat up. What kind of strange thing is this? Could it be for my future girlfriend to experience what it's like when I raise the temperature to 70 degrees Celsius? I began to feel curious, but these weren't the most important things. The important thing was, how was I supposed to gather all the prerequisites for the third mission? As an academic ace, I could naturally understand what was represented in the classical language of the system mission. Peach blossom paste was peach blossom wine. Bamboo grove pond was bamboo juice. Red grapes were grapes. As for osmanthus, yellow hidden at the end, it was probably tropical durian. Thinking of this, my expression suddenly turned a bit strange. Wine, fruit, bamboo leaves. Damn it, isn't this literally marinating meat? Moreover, what good person would put something like durian into bathwater, a dark dish like this? How am I supposed to coax my sister to soak in bathwater like that? Definitely, still be called a pervert, right? I couldn't help but fall into contemplation. Boom. Suddenly, the plane shook violently. Mu Nai, sitting next to me, was startled. She subconsciously reached out and tightly hugged my arm, and buried her small head into it. Ah! The young lady's delicate body trembled non-stop. Her mood had been very tense ever since the plane took off. Now it seemed even more serious. Don't worry, the plane just encountered some strong turbulence. It'll pass very quickly. I calmly reached out my hand, and gently patted Mu Nai's small head. The young lady timidly looked up. Brother Mu, yes, I am here. We won't crash. Will we? Don't worry. The annual probability of a plane crash is countless times lower than other forms of transportation. Basically, it can be counted to several decimal places. Unless what? Mu Nai asked curiously. I began to ponder. Unless. My words weren't finished yet. A melodious tune suddenly played. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Not only that, several voices also echoed from the seats next to us. When this business trip of mine is over, we'll get married. A man was talking on the phone with a woman. Our research has achieved completely new results. I'll announce them after I land. That was an elderly scholar. Welcome, passengers, to the final flight of my career. After this flight, I will resign and retire. The captain's voice echoed over the loudspeaker. I swear, wife, in this entire life, I will forever only love you. A man knelt to apologize to his wife. Man, what can I say? It was a bald man toying with a basketball in his hand. A black man. Next to him was a bottle of iced black tea. Not good. The boss prize pool is still accumulating, although I couldn't see it, but I could clearly feel. The V above my head was getting redder and redder. Cold sweat on my forehead also increased. Brother Mu, what's wrong? Mu Nai noticed my abnormality, and immediately asked with concern. My expression was a bit stiff. I couldn't help but reveal a smile that was uglier than crying. We might be about to enter an island survival storyline. 9 p.m. The five of us landed safely at the international airport of the coastal city. The plane ultimately did not crash, even though the boss gauge was full. Even though we encountered hurricanes, lightning, and thunder along the way, heavy rain, and a series of unscientific weather phenomena, but we still landed safely. I have to say, my luck is truly formidable. It's so strong, I could write it on paper and chop down trees with it. Not that soft. A moment later, everyone exited the airport with their luggage. A cool sea breeze immediately swept over us. Ah, it's so comfortable, Mu Tangchun said excitedly. Compared to the mainland, the temperature here was only slightly over 20 degrees. Very suitable for someone with a heat-intolerant physique like her. Traveling with Brother Mu was indeed not a bad decision, Mu Yulu said, with a giggle. Mu Nai, leaning on my arm at this moment, her legs still trembling slightly. So scary. Just now, when the plane was landing, she felt like the plane's wings were about to be broken by the wind. Mu Nai was so scared that her heart rate almost exceeded 200 beats per minute. Mu Yuye looked up at the surrounding scenery and asked curiously, I wonder if there are any basketball courts here. With this cool breeze, playing basketball would probably feel amazing. Hey, you're a visitor here, and you want to elbow the locals? I couldn't help but glare at Mu Yuye. Why not? Don't be so excessive, you little devil. I really am impressed by Mu Yue. Weren't they supposed to be on vacation? What kind of vacation involves running off to play basketball? Brother Mu, where should we go next? Mu Yulu asked. I took out my phone to check, and suddenly realized something. I couldn't help but click my tongue. Oh no, I forgot something important. Hearing this, the four girls felt their hearts tighten. What is it? He didn't forget something on the plane, did he? Or has Brother Mu run out of money? Do they have to be forced to dive into the sea to earn money, just to be able to go home? I swiped the screen for a moment. Only then did I turn my phone screen towards everyone. Actually, it's nothing major. It's just that my original vacation plan didn't include you all, so I only booked one homestay room. Plus, you all decided too late yesterday, and the time to buy tickets was too rushed. Didn't give me time to prepare, so I forgot to rebook the rooms. Therefore, it's too late for us now to book a second room, although it's the low season now. But the one thing Huaguo doesn't lack is people, and they particularly love to compete. They already started booking their rooms more than 10 days in advance, so even if I wanted to book a room now, there's no opportunity left. All rooms are booked? No way. Hearing this, the four girls were immediately stunned. At the same time, they also realized a problem, that all five of them would have to stay together in one room, in a dark, narrow alley. A flamboyantly dressed female student was currently with two subordinates, cornering a simply dressed female student, continuously using the wooden stick in her hand to frantically whip the girl. Each strike, you could hear the whistling wind tearing through the heavy air. One could imagine how much force they were using. You bitch, Take this for coming in first. Take this for coming in first. It's not just because that woman jumped off the bridge that you luckily got first place in class, is it? Look how smug you are. You even dared to collect our homework, and you dared to report us for cheating on the exam. Are you tired of living? Or do you want to try the methods we used to deal with that slut? The lead female student screamed at the beaten female student's face, angrily questioning her. The force of her hand also grew stronger and stronger. After just a few strikes, on the other female student's cheekbones, there were already horrifying streaks of blood. No, I didn't report anything. The teacher found out himself. I didn't report you guys. The female student whimpered. Then why did you raise your hand? And you still say you didn't report us? The lead female student questioned. I just wanted to go to the bathroom. I don't know anything. Who gave you permission to go to the bathroom? I had a stomachache at that time. There was no other way. I truly had no other choice. Please, I beg you, let me go. If you girls want to squeeze in a bit, it's not impossible. Why should we be the ones squeezing in? Mu Tang Chun questioned. I said casually. If you want to squeeze in with me, it's not impossible either. Tay, Mpe, who would want to squeeze in with you? The young lady proudly turned her head away. Mu Yulu thought for a moment, and then spoke. I think Brother Must division method is very reasonable. Mu Yuye,